A 2.5 year long trend in the South Florida and Delray Beach real estate market is now history. Join me today as I dive deep into the data. Thanks for joining. I'm John Whelan, Mr. Downtown Delray. Today I'm talking about the January Delray Beach real estate market update, and today I'm going to talk about the basics. Because it's the new year, I want to go back to charts, graphs, and information that I know is going to help you if you're thinking about buying or selling here in Delray Beach. I'm also going to weave in a lot of the national information because most of you are looking at the national news and seeing things like affordability and inventory and prices. All that is great, and it provides context to what's happening here locally in Delray Beach. Let's get started. Regular viewers of my channel, as well as who read my free weekly e-letter, and if you're not on it, you want to be a part of it, down below is my link. It comes out every Wednesday morning. It's free. Please sign up. But regular viewers know that I've been talking about the rising inventory over the last 30 months. Back in May of 2022, inventory in South Florida was 14,500 units. Today it's at 53,800 units. That's about a 275% increase in just 2.5 years. And because of the onslaught of all that inventory, the question is, are we now finally at the final innings or the end of the appreciation game? One of the things is that today we have as much inventory today as we did pre-pandemic or back in 2019. So the question is, or the thought is, we're back to normal real estate market. Now, what I believe is that we finally are in a market transition where home sellers are now starting to fess up to the fact that rising prices is not going to happen all the time. I believe that they're finally bowing down to moderating prices. In other words, I think that home sellers are finally leaving the denial phase. Why? Because now we have high inventory, as I just explained. We have interest rates that have been moderating for the last year, and we have prices that are doing what? They're now stabilizing. Now, as for the national data, there's still a lot of room for supply to rise. Why? Because industry experts are saying that we're still about 3.5 to 4 million units shy of demand. And when it comes to sales, 2024 might rival the lowest number ever recorded back in 1995 when they only had 3.5 million units sold. I'll give you more data about what happens when the numbers for 2024 come in. Additionally, on the national scale, back in October 2021, the months of supply of inventory bottomed at 3.3 months. That was one of the strongest seller markets ever recorded in history. But today, the months of supply is at 8.9 months. Remember, anything below 6 months of inventory is a seller's market. Anything above 6 months is a buyer's market. So today at 8.9 months, we are firmly in a buyer's market. At the same time, mortgage rates, the 30-year fixed, has basically been flat over the last year. A year ago it was about 6.75%. Today it's hovering just over 7%. So now all these buyers are starting to realize, and they're adjusting their expectations, that the days of a 5 or even a 4% mortgage rate might be something that doesn't happen, or at least for quite a while. So what does all this mean for the Delray Beach real estate market and surrounding communities? In a nutshell, everything is now up and to the right. Number of listings, up and to the right. Months of supply, up and to the right. Days on market, up and to the right. Before I show you the charts though, this really means that now we're finally in a neutral market. Neither sellers nor buyers are in charge. It's a negotiating market. It's a balanced market. Why? Let's look at the data. Let me first start off with and barrage you with a handful of charts that are what? They're up and to the right. Take a look at the first one, the number of listings. You can see that a year ago came in just below 1,650 listings, and as of today, we're over 1,950. That's a significant rise as a percentage goes. The next chart is the absorption or the months of supply. Look, a year ago, about 5.6 months, which was what? A seller's market. And now today with more above 6, we're now at 7.7 months. That is clearly what? A buyer's market. That's up and to the right. And the days on market, the first is the yearly look. Look, last year was about 60 days to sell a property. Today it's coming in at about 85. Now let's scale back and look at the 3-year chart. I like this one. It goes back to February, January of 2022, where it was around 30 days to sell a property. And today, there it is on the far right at around 85 days. These charts are what? Up and to the right. Now I'm going to show you a few charts that are not up and to the right, but they do give you a big perspective, a good understanding of what's happening in the 2025 real estate market as we start out. Look at the first one. This is the sold to list ratio. A year ago, it was 92%. Now it's at 90. That means that a property listed at $1 million is selling for $900,000 or a 10% discount. Property at $500,000, 10% discount is selling for about $450,000. The second one, this is the raw data that just came in for the ending of 2024 for the Delray Beach real estate market. On the very bottom right, look, the median sales price was $375 compared to a year before at $340. That is a over 10% increase in the median sales price in Delray Beach. Delray Beach is a hot spot. It's resilient. With all this market information and gyrations in the charts, the real estate market here is strong, but things to continue to change. The last chart, I like this one a lot. This is the pending sales or a leading indicator. These are sales that haven't closed yet. They're under contract, but they're going to close 30, 45, 60 days ahead of time. You can see that for most of this year, it was below market. So home sales were low in the yellow. And over the last few months, you can see that the leading indicator, the pending sales, have been increasing on a gradual scale every month, starting September, October, November, and I know that December is the same. So to sum it all up, yes, we're in a neutral market, a negotiating market. No one is in charge. Neither sellers or buyers are in charge. We now have a market that is more balanced. Hope that was good information, but I want to give you a narrative as we're starting January 2025. I look at my personal business, I look at my website and the number of people that are coming to it, the traffic, my social media, my YouTube channel, all places where I'm advertising, and over the last 30 days, all of my metrics are up and to the right. The number of visitors, as you can see in this graph, this is the number of visitors that hit. I've been averaging 50, 60, 70. Here's one for 82 people coming to my website a day, and the number of leads that I'm getting. That's the number of sellers or buyers inquiring about more information. A year ago, those numbers were in like 15, 20, 25. So I'm doubling or even 3xing the amount of traffic. The beginning of 2025 has been extremely busy. This is one of the busiest starts to the new year I've seen in Delray Beach and the real estate market here in the last 6 years. Now, if you're an owner of a condo in Florida or you're a buyer looking to buy one here in 2025, the new laws just went into effect January 1st. You can take a look at my video down below several months ago where I gave you all the specifics about what's happening. Things like the structural integrity reserve study, that has to be done. HOAs have to now provide meeting minutes of what's been going on. All their funds and their reserves need to be fully funded starting this year. So there's a lot of new laws and a lot of new aspects about buying and selling condos that began the beginning of this year. As listing agents, we need to obtain all that information from the HOA, the homeowner associations, so that we can represent sellers the right way. You can take a look at this. Here is the new condo writer, and for you it doesn't look like much, but when I first saw this the first week of this year, it's an additional 3/4 of a page with all sorts of new boxes that we must check whether we have it or don't, the HOA has it or doesn't, all sorts of new things we need to put into each listing and in doing contracts with condos. So make sure that if you are selling or if you're buying, there's a lot of things you must understand, and make sure you're working with a real estate agent who understands exactly what's happening. 2025 is going to be a great year for the Delray Beach and surrounding real estate markets. Why? Well, because for sellers, buyers, and even agents, all the metrics are starting to line up for everything to work well. For buyers, yes, prices are coming down, more inventory, so you have a lot more to choose from. And guess what? Buyers are starting to negotiate and get reasonable prices. For sellers, that might not sound good, but here's the thing. Last year, there was such a low amount of sales that your property probably stuck on the market for 50, 60, 100, even 150 days. Why? Because buyers weren't really ready. They were trying to wait for the market to change, for rates to come down. All that is now stabilizing. So as a home seller, right now is a great time to get back in the game, because guess what? Pending sales are up. We're leaving 2024, which was one of the worst years for sales in America. That's all changing. As a home seller, you're starting to see trends of number of sales go up. Prices are moderating. You're still getting a good deal, and there's a lot of buyers in the market. And if I can help you in selling your home, or if you're looking at buying, my contact information is down below. Let's get a cup of coffee or even a kombucha I'll see you next month.